Hey guys, TCGLover here. I thought I would start something different this time. I was thinking, how about if I get the viewers, such as yourself, to actually comment and actually, I don't know, change what you see on my channel. Okay, so this is not really, it's like interactive, but it's not so much clicking buttons, it's just suggesting fixes and so on, you know. So I will keep updating this with new videos to see until we get the perfect deck that everyone's comfortable with. So yeah, this is going to be called GoodStuff.Dek. It's going to be a collection of all the cards in the game, which obviously make up 40 to 41. I'm not going to start adding cards and not taking stuff away. I'm not going to do it until it's 60 or something. All the cards in the deck have to have some kind of functionality on their own, or functionality with their own card to be able to work with a card of the same name, so that you can actually get a nice combo off, basically. So this is my first draft. I just basically made this a minute ago, and I want you to comment down below in the comments. Tell me exactly what cards you don't like, what cards, and give a good explanation for them, of course, and tell me exactly what cards I could take out and put it instead and say if it works for the deck better. But I'm not looking for archetype cards. I'm not looking for, obviously Raikou and Lila is different because they're just naturally good on their own. You know, they don't really work with the Light Swan deck too much. Obviously Lila mills cards, but still. So yeah, this is what I've been thinking of, and it's pretty much, I would love to try it, but Silver Sentinel doesn't actually, I can't use it yet on DM because you can't set it in your spell or trap card zone. So yeah, here we go. Lackluster Soldier. Well, we are running a lot of Light and Darks, so yeah. Two Veilers. I wanted to emphasize on hand traps because hand traps are generically very good cards. They're just the ability to be able to surprise your opponent, and it doesn't have to go into a certain deck. Veil is used in every deck. That's the fact. That's the way it is. Gauze, of course, because it's just such a good card on its own. I put 3 Gravekeeper Spy because, one, I'm running Book of Moon, so flip it down, and also because I just like the fact that it's a free level 4 Exceed. I mean, if they attack it, it gets flipped up, you summon another one, and then on your turn, it doesn't matter if it dies or not. You know, if you exceed, you know, you haven't even normal summoned yet, so you exceed, it forces them to waste their removal on it. You know, it didn't cost you anything to make that monster, and you thinned your deck by 1 card. So it's a really good way for your opponent to bait out your opponent's stuff, you know, by going into Exceed monsters, and it fills up your graveyard as well. You know, just summon something like Utopia, so you get Light and Darks into the grave, so you can BLS and so on like that. Lila and 2 Raikou is just for the charge engine. Milling is great. I might take it out because I'm not personally comfortable with milling, but I do like the fact that Lila pops a card and I want to have 2 extra targets for charge. As I said, Maxi is just fantastic at the moment. Wind-ups are really good, and this card just, you know, you ditch it, draw. Avarice, you know, and also the deck can be kind of slow because it's GoodStuff.Dek. It's not like broken cards like Wind Up Shark and Magician, you know. It just needs that extra power to be able to fill your hand up more. We've got the Sangan and the 2 Tour Guides. That's obviously, you know, GoodStuff.Dek. It's got to have those 3 in it. You know, it gives you access to all of your rank 3s, and I don't know, the deck just really works well. I mean, like, one thing I love to do is go into Zen mains on my first turn and set Silver Sentinel and nothing else, because if your opponent just, I don't know, like they'll be forced to have to try and get rid of Zen mains, and they'll probably MST your back row card because they're thinking you're going to be using that to protect Zen mains. So they will MST that, trying to make sure that if they do a play to try and kill Zen mains, it will go through. So Silver Sentinel will be there to just pick up the pieces on the end of the turn. Yeah, Silver Sentinel is really great. It just really works well. I mean, a lot of people are not backing it up, and places saying, you know, the card is going down in price. I mean, I just picked up one today on eBay for £6. You know, that's equivalent to about $8, really. Yeah, it's just really good. I mean, I just like the surprise factor, the psychology factor of a card is usually what makes it better. Like, you know, Thunder King Ryu, I mean, it isn't, when you read the card for the first time, it's like, after realizing what it's good against and, you know, actually getting the effect off. Silver Sentinel, as long as you just know what you're doing with the card, it actually does go off. You know, as long as you're not over-committing with your back row, you know, they are going to hit it with an MST, or they're going to hit it with a card that destroys, and so on like that. And it just forces your opponent to have to think of what to do once they do destroy it. 2 Snamon Eaters, this is kind of like a iffy choice, but I thought if I'm going to be running Book of Moon, I might as well run 2 extra targets for Book anyway. As well as Raikou. You target, it gets, you know, flips up, and it's great against Thunder King because 1900 defense, and it's just great for accessing rank 3s as well. It's just really good card. I mean, you can go, this flips up Tour Guide into Sangan, and you exceeds with the Snamon Eater and the Tour Guide. and you leave the Sangan on your field so it gets its search, and you still get a Zen mains or Levier or whatever. I'm running Thunder King because obviously I want more light targets for BLS, but also because it's just such a good card overall. You know, as long as you're running decent back row removal, the card just is so good. You know, first turn, your opponent screws your opponent if they're playing elemental heroes straight off the bat like that. Book of Moon. Yeah, as I said, I'm running tons of flips, so why the hell not? And it disrupts your opponent. Charge for the Light Swan milling. Got the Dark Hole, Heavy Storm, and Monster Reborn. And Mind Control because I'm running a kind of plethora of different levels, so there's always going to be a way to use it. Forbidden Lance, I was running 2 of them, but I wanted to go more trap heavy. But it's still great for protecting your Thunder King or protecting your field. Basically, you drop BLS, they bottomless you Forbidden Lance, so on, so on. MST, I was running 3 as I always do, but I think it's starting to go down a bit now. I mean, even though there's more traps being played this format, but I don't really want to deal with traps by using MST because I personally want to save that for when I want to push. So I just set it and, you know, kind of wait for them to kill it. But of course I have Silver Sentinel and Lila as additional back row hate, so it's not really that necessary to have 3. Pot of Avarice because I do feel like I'm going to go through my monsters and stuff quite quickly. Maxi, Evette Vela, you know, Silver Sentinel will get to the grave, and Tour Guides will go into Xyz, so you'll fill your grave pretty quickly. And I want to keep my draw power high, as well as the milling cards, which will mill with charge and stuff like that. Polar Dualities, I just put these in now because I realised I nearly forgot them. Polar Duality is just great. You search for anything Silver Sentinel, and then you set a card that isn't Silver Sentinel, and then it basically plays a psychology game because they're thinking it is, and then it isn't. So really fantastic plays to do with that. Obviously you can set Raikou, you can set any of these cards, and you know your opponent will not know what it is until they attack it. So it's really great for bluffing and playing, you know, through your opponent's, you know, what their mindset is. Anyway, when it comes to traps, I thought I'd go trappy, not too heavy, but I wanted to find a way to put Dimensional Prison in because it's really good for control, and it's really good for dealing with Thunder King because it's kind of an annoying card against me anyway. So I put compulsory to do all those pesky Xyz monsters that I don't really like to have to waste my resources to get rid of, like Zen Mains, Mind Stroke, and to an extent Utopia. Solemn Brigade and Torrential Tributes because Torrential Tributes will control the field for me very easily. That's pretty much it because, you know, the monsters do not, you know, I'm not going to end up having more than 3 monsters on the field at once, you know, and if there is 3 monsters on the field at once, then that's kind of by luck, you know, because they played into my strategy. Otherwise it's not going to happen. So Torrential's just going to be there so I can, you know, Snowman Eater, you know, if they're going to overextend I can just blow up, you know, with Sangan on my field. I could run Call the Haunted, but I feel like it doesn't really exactly work in this deck well enough because a lot of my monsters are flip effects and I don't want to have to waste a Book of Moon just to flip it down and flip it up. It's not really that good of a play. Anyway, for my extra deck, this is obviously my first draft of the extra deck. Please do comment and tell me what cards I should change and what cards I should put in because I've got 1 slot left and I don't really know what to do. So Catasta, Army Arm, and Stardust Dragon are my synchros. I always put these in my extra deck, but that's just personal preference. Gemini Pearl because, as I said before in other videos, it's just really great for getting over stuff like Shien, getting over Barkion, getting over Stardust, getting over Utopia. It's just like it's a perfect attack to deal with your opponent, and I can actually make it quite easily. Levier the Sea Dragon because if I banish stuff or they bottomless my stuff, then My Stroke. It's just perfect. It's just an amazing card. It's really great in case your opponent is about to go all out and you need to set a defense up, or if you want to get over your opponent's monster and they got a low attack. Just happens. Giga Brilliant. This is in here, and I'm not running Leviathan Dragon because I like to go Tour Guide into Tour Guide or Sangan and make Giga Brilliant, and that's on my first turn. So now I've got a Light and Dart. They kill Giga Brilliant by running over it or whatever. Drop BLS, plow through there, you know, whatever. So it's super easy to set up. As well as it being able to put quite a lot of extra damage on the board if you've got a good field. Utopia and Utopia Ray. Utopia and Utopia Ray, I always play those in my decks now. Utopia is just great for negating stuff, and Utopia Ray is because I run Mind Control, so if they do have Utopia, I can steal it and they don't get their monster back. Photon Papilloperative. This is because Spirit Reaper. I don't like it, and it will hurt my deck quite a lot because there's not really many ways for me to get around it, so having access to a card that can actually put your opponent's monsters into attack mode, and it makes it really weak, so you can run over it really easy, and it's generic. Zen mains, of course, I said it works really well with Silver Sentinel, and it's just great for defending. Wind Up Zen Meister is only in here because of stuff like Gravekeeper's Spy, because I can flip them back down and put them back up again, and so on. Acid Golem, well, in Europe it's going to become legal in the Return the Duelist Special Edition, so I thought, why the hell not just chuck this in here? I don't like Moves of Rhythm, so I'm just going to play this instead. Really good for pushing for game, it's late game stuff, it's really good. And lastly I can think of is Shockmaster. In the final of the YCS Toronto, the wind-up player sealed game 3 basically by summoning Shockmaster on their first turn because they got the perfect hand, and Jeff Jones could really had struggle with it. I think it basically cost him the game. Shockmaster is really good. I mean, I've got like a lot of level 4s which I can use, you know, to make it, you know, Gravekeeper Spy into Gravekeeper Spy, summon Silver Sentinel, summon Lila, summon Thunder King, go into Shockmaster and basically shut them down, because it is going to be control based deck, so Shockmaster really does work out quite well. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I would like to have versions 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so on of this deck with little tweaks every time, going through certain cards, you know, basically not so much going over the deck every single time, but when a new card is implemented into the deck, I just want to discuss the deck and how it functions in the deck itself, so each video would be much smaller than this one. I know this one is roughly going to be about 11 minutes, provided I edit it. Yeah, think of it, tell me an extra deck card that I can put in, and I guess don't worry about the side deck, it's not really a big deal. So yeah, comment in below and tell me what you reckon I could put in, what I could take out and so on. But try and keep it to 41 cards, because it gets a bit inconsistent after that point, and it's not really a good deck anymore if you have like 45 cards and it's just like a big mashup of crap. So yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed watching. I won't be able to make another video for a couple of days because I've got some stuff to do over the weekend. So yeah, thanks for watching guys, and TCGLover out.